Hi, I'm Em, and welcome back to the Ewe Up vlog. Hello, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm Em, a knitter and designer living in British Columbia, Canada, and this is my cozy little corner of the internet where I talk about all of the fiber projects that I'm working on, maybe some sewing stuff in the future. If you see me looking off camera during this episode, it's because my cat is very rambunctious right now and probably being a menace. So if there are some jumpy edits in this video, it's probably because I've had to get up to stop him from getting himself in trouble. With that, let's get back to the episode. I'm sorry it's been a longer wait in between episodes again. It is what it is, and I don't actually have too much to talk about today because, again, I'm a slow knitter, so it takes me a little while to make significant progress on a project. But I do have a lot of whips that we are gonna work through today. We're gonna talk about some acquisitions and future project planning. So let's jump right in. The first whip is a long-standing whip. If you've seen any of my other episodes, you probably recognize it. I did leave off in the middle of a row, so it's going to be held pretty awkwardly. Forgive me for that. It's the Sea of Dreams baby blanket. If you follow me on Instagram or you watch YouTube shorts, you might recognize it from my latest reel/short. You guys loved it, by the way, so maybe future Em can remember to take more photos and videos when I work on it. It's kind of just, it's a monster of a project, so it kind of looks like a lump in any photo that I take, which is too bad because this lace work, let me see if I can, it's beautiful lace. And it deserves its moment to shine. I'm working slowly and steadily on this, just trying to avoid making mistakes that need to be ripped back. So progress is pretty minimal episode to episode, but we're about a third of the way through the length that I want to make it. So we are making pretty decent progress. I don't have too much more to say about that, but if you want more information, you can go back and look at past episodes where I talk about it a little bit more, and I will always have the pattern as well as my Ravelry project page linked in the description below. Take a little tea break. Next up is a project that you will probably recognize if you follow me on Instagram because I've posted a few times about it. It's been working up pretty quickly, and that is, let me see if I can hold this up in a way that actually shows it off. Very careful. There we go. This is the clematis sweater, and as you can see, it's got a really fun diagonal button band across the top, or front, not across the top, across the front, which is a really cool design. When this sweater was first released, I instantly liked it because this diagonal button band is just so unique, but I wasn't sure if it was something that I would wear a ton, and I didn't really know like what kind of color I would want, but I knew I liked it, and I didn't have any yarn that I immediately thought would work for it, so I kind of just kept it on the back burner, sort of in the back area of my mind, just always thinking like, is this something that I would wear a lot? Is this something that I think would fit with the other clothing in my closet? Questions like that. And then I saw a reel posted by Cassie of Making Cassie. I will put their Instagram username somewhere on the screen just in case I got it wrong. And they styled their clematis sweater. It was black over a black mini dress, and I thought, oh my gosh, I have the perfect dress for this. I need this outfit to be a thing. And so I finally made the jump. And I thought also, like, the diagonal button band is just so unique. I could definitely make that work with the rest of my clothes too. So I actually took the dress into my local yarn store, and I was like holding it up to different yarns, and unfortunately I couldn't find a perfect match. So this is the closest that I could get. I am using Barocco, I don't know how to pronounce it. Barocco Ultra Alpaca Light. It's a sport weight, and I'm using it in the color Turquoise Mix, and that's like the main yarn here. And then it is supplemented with Sandnesgarn Tin Silk Mohair in the color Jelly Bean. And you get this really interesting mix of blue-green. I will say, even with holding the yarn up against the dress in the yarn store, it's a little bit darker in natural light, but I think it's pretty close. And you know, it saved me from having to order online and just like gamble on whether or not it would match, because I've had some bad experiences ordering yarn online and finding out, oh, that color is not at all what I was expecting. So I wanted to get as close of a color match as possible, and I think I achieved that. I'm making this size 2, even though per the pattern I should be a size 1, because I didn't want it to be super snug. I wanted some room in the body for the silhouette that I'm envisioning. And it's been really fun to knit up, and I've got one more sleeve to knit, and then I need to sew on the buttons, and then it will be ready to wear, which is really bad timing because this week, and I think for all the weeks to come, we are officially in the 26 degrees Celsius plus weather. So kind of bad timing for a heavy alpaca and mohair cardigan, but I've been really enjoying it, and I couldn't get this idea out of my head. So I'm really glad that I did just jump in and cast it on, because it's been really enjoyable. And because it's knit, I think on 4.5mm needles, like it just worked up so fast. So fast by my standards. I tend to kind of be a slow knitter. So yeah, it's been lovely. I can't wait to finish the sleeve, get it all blocked. I'm really excited, and there will definitely be photos and reels to come with the cute little matching dress. So keep your eye out for that. Next up is a project that I don't have a lot to say about now, or rather at this moment, because I'm making it up as I go along, and it actually needs to be frogged so I can rework it. But this is what we've got. You've seen it on Instagram. But yeah, it's gonna get frogged, so I don't want to say too much about it. But I will talk about this yarn because, oh my gosh, is that not gorgeous? This is Puffer Coat by ZeeZee Textiles, and this has been in my stash for probably 3 or 4 years. I did buy a sweater quantity of it plus an extra skein because I knew that I needed as much of this orange in my life as possible. So I'm hoping this becomes a cute little top, if I can get the ideas in my brain to transfer to the yarn. Yeah, I love it. There's a little bit of variegation through the yarn where it sort of gets to this corally blushy pink, and I really like that there's just little dapplings of it throughout the yarn. I'm so excited to frog this and cast on again and try to make my vision come to life, because this color would be perfect for a cute little summer top, and I think I really need that in my life. I do have plans for the, well, tentative plans for the rest of the sweater quantity. I also have puffer coat in mohair, so the original idea was to hold them together, and that's still a plan, but that won't happen until winter most likely. So for now, I am just enjoying this really bright, beautiful color, and yeah, even though I have to rip it out, it's making me really happy to work on, so even frogging isn't that bad. I've just realized this is going to be a ZeeZee Textiles heavy episode, because two of my whips are with ZeeZee Textile yarn, and my most recent acquisition is also ZeeZee Textile yarn. So Rachel, I love you, always will. You are a genius with color. What can I say? Next up, again, posted about this on Instagram, and if you've followed me for more than a year, you will recognize this yarn. This is, again, ZeeZee Textiles. This is in the colorway Oak, and last summer I made this into a cottagecore crop, but the v-neck, I mean, I'm sure you can tell even with my Avero sweater that I'm wearing, v-necks on me do tend to like slide down and show a lot of skin here. So I typically, like, the Avero sweaters I find, and why I love them so much, is because they kind of sit back a little bit so the V doesn't come too deep. But unfortunately, the V on the cottagecore crop, and just the way that the sleeves fit and everything, it's a closer fitting sweater than the Avero is. Or I guess it's a closer fitting top than this Avero is. So the front dipped down really low, and I don't know if I'm just like bad at blocking, but the neckline also really widened after blocking. So basically I would put it on and it would just slide right off my shoulders. So obviously that's not gonna work. So I recently took it all apart, frogged it. I just made it into these two messy balls because I couldn't be bothered with caking it back up. And then I recast on, or I cast on again for the cottagecore crop, but I am going to modify it. So I'm still working on the 3.75 millimeter needles, but I'm making two significant changes to the neckline. The first being that I'm doing an I-cord edge along the front pieces, and that is because an I-cord edge tends to keep your stitches tighter, so you are adding a little bit of structure, and I want to make sure that the v-neck sits where I want it to and doesn't stretch out too much. The second thing that I'm doing differently is I am doing faster increases for the front V neckline. So that means that I will be increasing rather than having it be slow and coming quite deep. They're going to be really fast, so it's going to create a shallower V, or at least that's the hope. And so far it seems to be working out pretty good. I might have to play around with it a little bit, we'll see, but this is such a cute top that I just want to have it in my closet. And every time I see Kate wearing one of her samples, I'm like, man, I have to have one of those. So I finally frogged it, got started on it, and hopefully this fixes my issue. It's definitely a me issue and not a pattern issue, because I find this, even with ready to wear tops and sweaters, like the V is just always way too low. It might be my posture. I do have like sloping I do have sloping shoulders that kind of roll forward, so I'm sure that doesn't help with the issue. So yeah, hopefully these modifications work and get me my desired fit. The other thing that I am considering doing is altering the ruffle. So the original pattern, I'll maybe put a photo of Kate's sample up here, or somewhere on the screen, wherever it fits best. The original sample shows sort of like around your waistline is where you increase to make that ruffle. And I really like the look on other people, but I found when I tried the sample on again before frocking it, it was just kind of hitting at a weird place on my hips, and I wasn't liking the proportions. So I was thinking about what I could do to make that work better for the silhouette that I tend to enjoy on myself. And I thought about a top that I have in my closet that gets so much wear, and that is a bit more fitted through the bust and like right under the bust. And then that right there, like where a bra band would be, is where the longer, looser kind of ruffly bit starts. So I think I'm gonna try to do that with this. I don't know if it'll look good, so we will find out. So I think I'm gonna try that sort of extended ruffle that starts right under the bust with this version. That's my idea anyway, but we'll see how it's looking as I go. I'm gonna try it on a lot to make sure that the bust fits the way I want, and to see if I like that changed position for the ruffle. So it won't be like super cropped. I'm gonna make the ruffle bit longer so it hits like right around where my waistband would be. So it won't be like a super, super tiny crop top. It'll be like a regular length top, but that's the vision. Hopefully it translates. And if it doesn't, you'll hear about it in the next episode probably, depending on how quickly I can get this knit up, because it is on smaller needles. And as I've said many times, this episode and past episodes, I am a slow knitter. So we'll see how much progress gets done before the next episode. All right, let's talk project planning, because I finally decided on a plan for some mini skeins. Let me grab them. Mini skeins. These are from the Witcher Variegated Mini Skein set by Pigment and Ply. This was, I think, 3 years ago, or 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And I've picked out, it's a 10 mini set, but I've picked out 8 minis. Let's see if I can you see all those? Don't mind my nails. I'm sorry, they're a little chippy. I've finally decided to break into them and make one of the most popular patterns right now, the Stella Quilt Cushion. You will notice though that I have only got 7 here, and that's because I'm not super big on the purple mini skeins. Like this one, it's got enough blue in it for to work with the rest of them, but I didn't like the other 2 purple mini skeins because this is gonna go in our bedroom, and purple would just kind of look out of place. I think these colors are definitely more in line with other colors that are in the art and everything in there. And then that last mini skein is just too low of a contrast for my plan to use a cream main color. So I haven't decided yet what the 8th color is going to be, but I'm going to do some stash diving and see if I have any odds and ends that have enough yardage to work for this, and that goes with all of these colors. But I'm going to cake these up and start this pretty soon because I'm just stoked about finally getting to dive in with these minis. And I don't know if anybody else is like this, but like when I order a mini skein set, I don't do it very often because I don't do a lot of projects with color work and stuff like that. But sometimes you just want all of the colors that a dyer is offering, and that was the case with these, and I just couldn't afford to get full skeins of all of them, so I ordered the mini set. And I'm so glad that I didn't rush into a project with it, because this collection here of colors combined with the Stella quilt cushion is going to look so good, and I'm so excited for this. So just goes to show it's okay to not have a project in mind when you buy yarn. Just buy it anyway. Okay, future M here, and I've balled up all of the mini skeins from the Witcher collection that I had picked out, and I've just put them in this basket with this cream yarn, which is not the yarn that I'm going to use to knit the pillow because I don't have enough of it, but just as a placeholder until I can get that yarn so that I can see the contrast and everything. So I laid them all out, and I was going through my scraps, and I remembered that I had leftovers from the cowl that I made my partner in December that is the Witcher colorway from Pigment and Ply from this collection. And I can't believe I didn't think of it before as the 8th color for this, because it's absolutely perfect. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It like completes the circle of the color gradation. It brings the green back in. I don't know what the light's doing. It's getting kind of weird. But let's see if this helps. It's so perfect. I can't believe I didn't think of it before, and I'm so excited to get started on this. The last thing I have to talk about is a little acquisition. This is going to be a stashquisition because I won't start working on it until the fall. And it just arrived today, so it's very exciting. It's ZeeZee Textiles again. I got 2 skeins of You on sport weight. It's a gorgeous bronzy caramel almost. I had to get it because all of my social media handles are Knit You Up. That's my business name, that's my designer name. Knit You Up, this is you. I mean, how perfect is that? I can knit up you. I can knit you up. There it is. It's the pun of my life's work. Rachel, thank you for making this happen. Oh my goodness. This is from Rachel's Childhood Friends collection, so it was a pre-order. I've ordered 2 skeins, and the idea is to make matching North Shore beanies for my partner and I. The North Shore beanie is my own pattern. The original pattern calls for a sport weight, but there is a worsted weight version as well. And I talked about this a little bit in a previous video. I floated the idea of it, but my hope is to host a North Shore beanie knit along in the fall. So I will be knitting along with you guys, and I'll be knitting in this yarn. So that's the plan. More information and details coming in the fall. Keep your eyes peeled. Subscribe to me on Instagram because that'll probably be the primary sharing platform for the knit along. But they're so pretty, and I just had to show you because, I mean, how perfect. I love it. I'm very excited. And that is it. It's probably a pretty short video this time around because, yeah, I just don't have that much to talk about at the moment. Hopefully I will have more to say in the next episode. Hopefully I will finally get my act together and film that mini-sode and get that out there. Yeah. Thanks for coming along through this talk of current projects. Hopefully I'll have a lot more progress to show you next time. And of course I will have that cardigan as an FO and we can talk more about that. Thank you so much for watching. Links to everything will be in the description, as well as a link to my Ko-Fi account or Ko-fi account. If you would like to show some support for my work, that is a great way to do it. I do also have a few patterns for sale on Ravelry and on PayHip. I will have those linked down below as well, so you can check those out. And hopefully I will have more designs coming in the future for you. I have so many ideas and just not a lot of time. So hopefully I can make some of these ideas happen and get them out for you guys. Fingers crossed. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Yeah. You need to be a podcaster too.